Sorry guys, as I said that it's a Saturday and I am actually doing this video outside. So there's a lot of distraction because people are around, and I have a better reception, as I said, outside than when I'm inside. And it's also kind of tranquil outside. You see, I hear the sounds of birds and they're like kind of calming my soul. So outside is a perfect place except for the distraction. So where was I before I was interrupted? The emptiness. Now, the emptiness, I was not sure where to place it, whether to place it with the grief, you know, or I was just feeling empty, because I had just got home, and obviously I did recognize that now I was feeling very sad and unhappy because I was faced with the reality of the fact that my mom was not around. It was like in my face. And now the emptiness kind of came from the fact that I had left Joburg. Because, in Johannesburg, I had things that were distracting me, to really face what was happening with me. And now that I was back home, I kind of did not have the distractions except for my son. But he didn't really now fulfill everything, within me. So I was empty. And I kind of realized this after a while, that this emptiness that I was feeling was kind of odd. Because, when you feel unhappy, you kind of find things that makes you happy so that you can kind of, remove this feeling of unhappiness. So you find things. Some people find being around friends makes them happy. Maybe taking a bubble bath makes you happy, or going out for a movie, or indulging in food. Some people find fulfillment in that, in a place of the emptiness now. And some find fulfillment, in having sex. Some find fulfillment in a whole lot of things, And unfortunately for me, I was never a person who loved going out, maybe clubbing and having a good time. I was never like that. Grew up as a church girl, and for me, church was my happy place. But the weird thing is that church was not my happy place at this moment. I was not happy, and with the money that I had, because now I had lost my mother. My mom was a working citizen, so she left money for me. So I could literally buy things that would make me happy, you know. And this is when I realized that this is more than just feeling empty. It's bigger than that, but I couldn't put my finger on it, what was going on, because I would then go maybe to East London for shopping, you know, buying nice clothes, nice perfume, and one of the things that made me happy was buying toys for my son. That fulfilled me. But I would be happy that he's happy, with what he has, because he loved toys. But you'd find that the things that I have bought myself, they're there, Shelly Piana, with their tags. I didn't even want to wear them. And that's when I realized that my joy, or my happiness, or the fulfillment that I was looking for was not in material things. I was basically feeling empty, and I had no solution of what I could possibly do to make this feeling go away, right? So I then got an opportunity to be part of a music competition. This was by chance because I was just in town. I think I went to buy my son some food and nappies or whatever, and I saw this banner with this music competition, and I just decided, let me just go and see who are auditioning in and what is this all about. So I went in there, chilled for a while, listened to these people audition, and I was like, I think I can give this thing a try, you know? Um, and I was not even dressed for auditions. I was just dressed in my jeans and my jersey. It was a cold Sunday, morning. And I went on stage and I auditioned. And I got through. And that, for some time, kind of made me happy because now I had something to look forward to, right? And I realized, oh, at least I still have something that fulfills me, that makes me happy, which was music, right? So when I would be there, because now we would be called, if you went through to the second stage of the competition, you would get called to come through. We would go to different towns and cities, and I would be with people that I did not know, making new friends. At least that kind of, and I think this was just God trying to show me that I still got you. I understand what you are going through, but I want to help you not to drown. And I remember when they called me for an interview, part of the content of this competition, and I remember speaking about this, that this competition for me came at the right time because I was in a place where I was feeling out of place. I had just lost hope to a point that, sometimes when you're dealing with this unhappiness and emptiness, you forget what made you happy. You forget what fulfilled you. You just become lost in this world, and you see, I as I said in the beginning, I was trying to kind of attach all that I was feeling to my grief, because I wanted to find what is making me feel this way. And lucky for me, I would say lucky, it was my grief process. Because had everything been okay in my life, my mother was there, everything that I needed was there, and I was feeling like this, then I would have been taken to a psychiatric hospital, where they would now declare me depressed, because you have everything that you need to know. You know, why are you feeling that like this? So at that time, I had something to attach what I was feeling, to. So did this competition. It went on so well. I was in my happy place when I would go to these towns, and would continue with this competition until it came to an end. And I was kind of back to square one. Then what now? This is what, 2014, 2015. I am feeling empty, and I remember this one evening going to a launch, an album launch of a friend of mine, and I was procrastinating to go to this launch. It was in the evening. It was going to last the whole night. It was going to get end in the morning, and I had my son. My son was about, 5 years old, and I had no one to leave him with, so I had to go with him the whole night there. But thank God, because he loved music. So I decided, let me go, and this was one of the best things I think had happened to me, because I met a friend. Then he was not my friend. He was just this person that wanted to get to know me and whatnot. But it was actually someone who then became my saving grace. And not only that, but who kind of helped me to realize what was going on with me. That it was not just me going through this grieving process, but there was something deeper that was happening to me. Even though he did not really say what it was, as much as he knew. But I kind of think that he wanted me to go through this phase of awakening and to go through this so that I can, one day have a story to tell of how my journey began, right? So this is where I'm going to stop for today. But what I can say is when you realize that this unhappiness and this emptiness is not really coming from the things that are happening in and around you, but it's a deeper yearning that is happening inside of you. How do you recognize this? Is when you don't find happiness in things that used to make you happy, and you don't find fulfillment in things that used to fulfill you. Even when you kind of try and find things that are going to fill you up and you have them right in front of you, or you go to these places and still they don't, then you know that okay, there is something deeper that is happening within me than just me being in my miserable state or my moody place or the phase of life in general that I'm going through. And sometimes it is said that these things you kind of obviously confuse this awakening thing with depression, because depression is part of an indication of your spiritual awakening. Not everyone is having a spiritual awakening when they're depressed, but most of the time it's one of the things that indicate that you are having a spiritual awakening. So I'm going to end here for today. Hopefully this video has been very helpful to someone, or it will be very helpful to someone one day. And I am going to continue with these stages as we move along. So have a great afternoon, and please do subscribe, and please do like my video, because I believe this is just a beginning of something that is going to be great one day, and it's going to be helpful to someone one day.